Welcome back to my channel. This is Gina from Her Cosmic Crown, and today we are going to talk about astrological compatibility. And I'm going to talk about one simple technique where you can find out immediately if you are compatible with a love interest. But there are other ways to find out you're compatible, but this is just like a really quick tip. Now, before we get into the juicy stuff, I do want to state that a lot of people I see think that you find compatibility by looking at the sun signs. So they'll say, oh, I'm a Leo and my love interest is a Taurus, and because I'm a fire sign and they are a earth sign, we are not compatible. So that's not how it works with compatibility using the tropical Vedic astrology system. How I use it is we look at the moons, because the suns, that's basically how a person shines. That's the outward expression of a person. That's how they show up in the world. But we want to look at their inner world. The moon is hidden. We can, usually see it at night. And sometimes we can see it in the day, but it's most visible at night. And so that's when the moon rules. It rules during the night. And because of this, it represents our inner world. And so what we do outside our careers, how we present ourselves, our public relations and things like that, doesn't really come into effect when we're talking about compatibility. So that is why it is essential to look at the moons. What are our moons talking about? The moon is how we feel at home. It's what we're comfortable with. It's our subconscious mind. It's also our conditioned consciousness. What does conditioned consciousness mean? It means it's something that we're used to. We're used to doing something. We're used to having certain foods. It's what we're comfortable with, basically. And the moon controls our likes and dislikes. So, one person may love going out, having adventures, and another person may not. They might, want to be inside more. So we want to compare moons to see if they're compatible. There are many ways we do that. We look at the moon signs. We look at the nakshatras the moons are in, which is part of Vedic astrology. And you could check out my blog posts on nakshatras if you would like. But yeah, so nakshatras have to do with the moon as well. So yeah, we focus on the moon heavily. We can also look at the other planets in the chart as well to see a little bit more what the relationship will look like. But we mainly focus on the moon signs and the nakshatras of the moon. Here's a quick tip. So you want to know, I guess a lot of people say the traditional rulers of the signs. So you want to know the traditional rulers of the signs, because this is going to make a lot of sense. So I will share that with you all right now. The sun rules Leo. So if your moon is in Leo, there's no other rulership that the sun rules over, just Leo. Okay. If your moon is in Cancer, there's no other sign that the moon rules over, just Cancer. So those are the only two signs with a singular ruler. And with the astrology that I use, we don't use the outer planets like Pluto, Uranus, Neptune. We don't look at those planets when it comes to the rulership. So Mars rules Aries and Scorpio. Mercury rules Gemini and Virgo. Jupiter rules Sagittarius and Pisces. Venus rules Taurus and Libra. And Saturn rules Capricorn and Aquarius. That is one easy technique. If you share the same rulership as your partner, or if you share the same sign, you're automatically compatible. For instance, if your moon is in Capricorn and your love interest's moon is in Capricorn, or it's in Aquarius, you have compatible moons. Again, there's more to compatibility. There's a whole point system that we use to look at more information, but this is just a quick, easy technique. And I'm going to go over quickly the descriptions of the rulership and what that means for each of the moon signs. Any sign that is opposite of your sign, then they get some compatibility points for that. Again, we want to look at the whole chart and everything. But so for instance, if your moon is in Aries and your love interest or your partner's moon is in Libra, that is compatible because it's kind of like this opposite pole. So there's quite a bit of compatibility. If you're not sure, there are so many other combinations of signs that can be compatible. We want to make sure their rulers are compatible. For instance, the sun and the moon are compatible. So that means someone with their moon in Cancer and the other person whose moon is in Leo, they're gonna have compatible moons. We want to see if the planetary rulers of the signs, if those are compatible, then we can say, oh yes, we get some compatibility points because those planets are compatible. So that is another way as well. But there is more to compatibility than what I'm speaking of. I did videos on the signs of the moons. I've created some moon boards, which are basically collages of each moon signs, and I've also created a video based on those moon boards, and I go over each of the moon signs. So check out the videos. That should give you a better understanding of the compatibility. But again, there's so much more to compatibility than that. The sun rules over Leo, so the moon in Leo is compatible with other people with their moon in Leo or with people with their moon in Aquarius. So the moon indicates that a person can adapt their lives around their overall vision for life, because the sun represents our vision for life. It's what we do, it's how we make the world a better place. And to people with their moons in Leo, they can really emphasize their inspiration for life and their vision for life. And if they envision having their own business but lack marketing skills, they can more readily learn the skills that they need so that their business can flourish. So having your moon in Leo can make a person really look for ways to get their needs met in their kingdom or whatever they are inspired to do in this life, inspired to make. They are looking to make their kingdom prosper, and so they can do that together. And then yeah, so look at the moon boards for the sun, for the moon in Leo, and for the moon in Aquarius. If you want to look at those two, you can see if how they're compatible. The moon rules Cancer and only Cancer, so people with their moon in Cancer are compatible with other people with their moon in Cancer. So having your moon in Cancer, these two people are kind of go with the flow, and they can adapt to almost any pressure in life. They're not very quick to get ruffled. They can hold it together before they break down. So this is a great moon sign. They're compatible in that way. They're gonna look to find happiness, so they're gonna adapt their lives in order to be happy. And yeah, so look at the moon boards for more description. Also, opposite of Cancer is Capricorn. So a person with their moon in Capricorn and their moon in Cancer, they have some compatibility points. Mars rules Aries and Scorpio. Those with their moon in Aries or Scorpio are compatible. A moon in a Mars sign shows that you have the mental focus and the energy to act towards fulfilling your needs and to fulfilling your hunger. Okay, so the moon is our needs, Mars is our hunger, it's our drive. You're mentally and emotionally strong and you exert your will. and you have great problem solving skills. You handle intense situations. You're a fighter and protector of the things that you love, which are great qualities. You may also like adventure. Mars is an adventurous planet, so you might like adventures. You might like doing things together, going on adventures, and yeah, so those two signs are compatible. So moon in Aries and moon in Scorpio, those get some compatibility points, as well as the opposite sign. So the moon in Libra, which is opposite of Aries, gets some compatibility points. The moon in Scorpio is compatible with the moon in Taurus as well. They get some compatibility points there. Next is Mercury. Mercury rules Gemini and Virgo. And so if your moon is in Gemini or Virgo, you are compatible with those signs. And you can come off as intuitive because you're observant, and by being intelligent, you understand what works for you and what doesn't. You're adaptable and enjoy using your well-developed communication skills. And Mercury is the planet of investigation. It looks for opportunities. And when the moon is in Gemini or Virgo, a person can look for new opportunities. They can look for opportunities for growth. They can look for opportunities to get their needs met, for happiness, for and you know, they can more easily get unstuck in life. So this is a lighter energy. This is a lighter sign to have your moon in. You might like being intelligent with your partner. You might like reading with your partner, learning with your partner, discovering new things with your partner. So this is a great place to have your compatible moons, because you can just do a lot of fun things together. And then if your moon is in Gemini, you're also compatible with the opposite sign, which is the moon in Sagittarius. If your moon is in Virgo, your moon is compatible with people with their moons in Pisces. Jupiter rules over Sagittarius and Pisces. So if your moon is in one of these purpose-driven signs, you can have a long-term vision for life. You can have a strong sense of what you consider to be good, and this goodness can shine through you. And you may have a solid belief system or a moral path in which you rely. Your creative destiny gives you a lot of purpose. So you both may be spiritual. You might connect through spirituality, some kind of spirituality, and it's not necessarily religion, but it can be. But you can connect in that way. Also children. Jupiter rules over children, so children can give you both a strong sense of purpose. If you have your moon in Sagittarius, you are also compatible with people with their moon in Gemini. And if you have your moon in Pisces, you're also compatible with people with their moon in Virgo. So you get some compatibility points that way. It's not the full picture, but you do get some. Venus rules over Taurus and Libra. And having your moon in one of these signs indicates that you're getting your needs met and having a balanced sense of happiness. So in general, you enjoy the comforts in life because Venus rules over the comforts, the pleasures, the good things in life, the nice things in life. Generally, you're composed and you can tolerate a great deal of emotional distress, which is important in relationships. So you can be compatible, especially when it comes to Venetian things. You might enjoy delicious dinners together. You might enjoy wine. You might enjoy wine tasting with your partner and shopping and, you know, getting a lot of great things in life. And those great things can provide stability for you and your partner. If your moon is in Taurus, you get some compatibility points as well. If your love interest or your partner's moon is in the opposite sign, which is Scorpio. If your moon is in Libra, you get some compatibility points. If your partner or love interest's moon is in the opposite sign, which is Aries. Saturn rules Capricorn and Aquarius. So if you have your moon in Capricorn or Aquarius, you're compatible with others who have their moon in Capricorn or Aquarius. So a moon in one of these Saturnian signs signifies that you have a great ability to survive anything. You're able to endure and can bear a lot of burdens, which is actually important in a relationship. If your relationship happens to have a lot of burdens, you can kind of persevere through that. And you both understand that life isn't easy, and that there are hardships, and so you both come together on that, with that understanding, and you can push through those issues more readily as long as Saturn in your charts are very strong. You can handle a lot of stress in general. Also, Saturn has to do with long-lasting things, so you might enjoy doing things that will have a long-lasting outcome. So building a life together, building a home together, you know, starting at the roots, starting at the foundation, and eventually building a life together will be great for people with their moons in Capricorn or their moons in Aquarius. And if you have your moon in Capricorn, you're also compatible with people who have their moons in Cancer, because opposites attract in this sense. You get some compatibility points if your partner or your love interest's moon is in Cancer. If your moon is in Aquarius, you get some compatibility points if your love interest or your partner's moon is in the opposite sign, which is Leo. If you want a compatibility reading, you can go to my website and go to book a reading, and you can learn more about what I offer. I will see you in the next video. Bye.